Whether you're new to the wargame genre or a broken arrow veteran with almost 1,000 hours under your belt, there is one easy way to help players improve or make them play like a pro, and it's surprisingly simple. All you gotta do is to adjust your keybinds. Good day everyone, my name is Corn, and today I'll share with you a set of keybinds that will improve your micro, the philosophy behind it, and a couple tips and tricks to get you a head start in your journey. For anyone that's been using the default keybind, you'll definitely know that the distance between your left thumb and the right hand side of the keyboard is pretty vast. You'll have to swipe your hand across the keyboard just to hit a couple buttons before you can get back to your WASD keys that you rely on moving your camera with. It kills a lot of efficiency when actions per minute in an RTS is so important. So the goal of today's guide is to help you relocate the keys that are basically too far away. Alongside that, a couple changes here and there will also help you improve your micro drastically. So the first thing that I would change is laser designation and the radar in the abilities tab. I've been using both commands. I've been assigning them to caps lock, and it's actually, not only is it close to the left hand side of the keyboard, the best part about it is that some keyboards, especially those on laptops, if you have your caps lock enabled, then they will have a light that pops up, kind of like a visual cue that shows you that you have your radars enabled. So today, let's say someone or your opponent happens to be flying a seed plane, trying to suppress your radar or possibly trying to desync and kill it, then this visual cue might help you in case your camera, in case you just happen to not be looking at your SAM sights, and if you hit your hotkey which your SAM sights are on, and then immediately press your caps lock to turn it off, then you'll be safe. And yeah, that's at least the logic behind it. And the next change is going to be for the air spammers, which will be focusing on the 3 airstrike hotkeys: strafing run, bombing run, and precision strike. But normally I actually just ignore the strafing run because I don't really use it that often, and I would actually assign bombing run to the same key as the decoy button, which is X, and the precision strike to C, which it pops up here. Do you want to replace it? I would actually go for yes, and I'll come back to that hotkey later. But basically, not only do these keys move them closer to your left hand, this also helps your playing with pre-flaring during a bombing run or a safe low altitude precision strike, which I made a guide about this trick almost a year ago, so you can check it out, and it's still working for the time being. And with all these hotkeys, basically what you need to do, I guess you don't have to watch that video after all, I'll just show you anyways. All you gotta do is to fly at low altitude, and then press X, which is your bombing run, and then use your caps lock if it's a smart bomb, but on PT it's not needed anymore. And then the only thing you won't be able to get used to is manually flaring, which does make the interface pop up, but it doesn't actually affect you from flaring. To give you a quick heads up or context, pre-flaring does help against SAMs that just fired. It gives you to pop it a couple extra flares, maybe 1 or 2, and it does make a pretty big difference when you're air striking. Now, if you remember the height tool, I remember it somewhere down here. Okay, right here. So I would actually set it along with the camera rotation key, which for me it's going to be control. Where is it? Okay, it's right here. So you can use middle mouse button. You have a second key for left control because it's actually a key that's not really utilized, but for me I can press it with my pinky, move it around to see what's going on the battlefield, along with just check if there's a hill and if I could have the line of sight to shoot something that's nearby. So yeah, that's actually pretty much it. Voila, this is the everything else is actually pretty well utilized besides the unload key, which is a bit far away, but you kind of have to stretch your thumb. But yeah, everything else here is pretty much simplified or put in a more efficient position for you to use. And still, you might have some suggestions. For example, Corn, strafing run is basically the same logic as a force fire on ground vehicles. Why don't you assign it to F? Which I tried, but it actually replaces fast move for some reason, even though these two commands technically don't really interfere with each other. So yeah, like, I definitely wish the game could give us more freedom when it came to hotkeys and stuff, because it opens up a lot of room for an even better set of hotkeys, but for the time being, this is as beginner-friendly as I can get. And we still have a long way until the devs will even bother dealing with this minor inconvenience, but, you know, for the time being, I think this is what we have, and we'll have to deal with it. Also, I'm very sorry to tell you until just now, but I did tell you that this is a more efficient set of keybinds, but it's actually not my set of keybinds. I apologize, but because the thing is, initially I did want to show you my set of keybinds, but the problem here is that um, when I looked at the default keybinds, they were just not the same anymore, and there's a lot of reasons to that, but I'll just show you because like I was already so familiar to my own keybinds. I basically didn't feel the difference. I bet that the devs actually changed something. So I'll show it to you right now what my keybinds actually are. So everything here from movement, none of these are actually changed. It's like it's pretty like easy to understand. Like back to base for B, unload for U, reverse move for R. This is actually also a thing in Company of Heroes. I used to play that game a bunch, so it does make sense. Fast move for F is actually something that's pretty new. You can actually disable it, or there is a settings somewhere in double click fast move, so if you double click it actually triggers a fast move order. Sometimes I actually have this disabled myself. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then cancel order for E. This is also pretty common on a lot of RTS games, and after that Q for, like, all of these are pretty common. So as you can see here, the first thing that actually changed before was that fire mission was actually the same hotkey as smoke in like the open betas, or yeah, and like after the game released or something. So there were times where I would actually hit fire mission, but then my like these artillery pieces also had a smoke. So what would happen is they would pop smoke, especially like on units like the Taz, and then my opponent would see on their screen, oh, why is there a smoke here? Well, that means there must be something there, right? And then they proceed to artillery it, which is where my artillery pieces are, and you actually don't want that to happen. So I think the devs actually moved smoke to X, which I think Warno has its same hotkey as well. Actually, Warno doesn't have this. Warno has um, like fire mission as T, but for me, I actually did the opposite. I changed smoke. I changed the hotkey to T and fire mission to X, or I think Z, one of the two. And then after that, I would change bombing run to C, which is replacing the height tool, and precision strike to X because to me, oh, okay, well I guess fire mission is Z for me then, because to me, like, the X, he just felt like a marking, like a marked target, so I just ended up assigning X to. It's kind of funny, a funny logic here, but I mean, it doesn't really make sense this at all. But apparently, this is how it turned out. And then the oh yeah, and then like the decoy would actually be turned into C because I wanted to bind these two together, and then just spam C when I do a bombing run and get as close as possible. And then like after that, afterwards, I would just let the bombs drop and hopefully destroy the target. And then after that, yes, your radar both on caps lock. These two are new on the PTE, and I think they actually aren't very like, you don't really need to use them with the hotkey. You can just click left click on them, and you'll be fine. Afterwards, I think, yeah, camera rotation on control, FOV height tool on control as well. And yeah, that happened to be it. So it's actually not that much different anyways. I've also wanted to change the fast move like key to something else, which, to be honest, I actually wanted to change unload to F because it's actually much closer, but so far I've been having issues because I've also been very spoiled. I mean, I've been so used to this, so I cannot actually change these hotkeys anymore, which is kind of a problem at this point. But overall, guys, I think that will be the end of my short TED Talk, I suppose. But yes, thank you very much for watching until the very end, along with the channel supporters. If you have any questions or like something else you would like to know about hotkeys, about settings, please do let me know in the comments. I'll go back into my cave on, continue on making feedback and videos for Broken Arrow. So, take care, and bye-bye.